Rick's muted. It looks like ours, is it supposed to be green? There's no line through it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No line.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Rick?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Yes. The court will call case number 6598, the state of Texas versus Edgar Manuel Trejo. Is the state ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Is defense ready to proceed?
We are ready, Judge.
Okay, and I can't, there's Mr. Trejo. Sir, for
Yes.
the record, are you Edgar Manuel Trejo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr.
Sure.
Trejo, you are charged in case number 6598 with possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1. That's a state jail felony. It's punishable by imprisonment in the state jail division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for not more than 2 years or less than 6 months. In addition, the court can assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. Mr. Trejo, you've been charged with this by an indictment. Is your name Edgar Manuel Trejo correctly stated in the indictment?
Yes.
Do you want that indictment read to you, or do you waive the reading of that indictment?
Judge, we'll waive the reading of the indictment. I've gone over that indictment with my client. He understands what he's charged with.
Thank you. Mr. Trejo, are you a U.S. citizen? Oh, we just lost them.
Yes. Yes, I am.
In that case, sir, I'll ask you how you plead to this charge, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty?
Sir, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes.
Has anyone pressured you or coerced you or promised you anything to get you to make this plea?
No, ma'am.
Right, Mr. Trejo, I have in front of me a document called the Felony Plea of Guilty Waiver Stipulation and Judicial Confession. That's a long name, it's a long document. Have you gone over this document with your attorney?
Yes.
Right, so you know that in this document, you tell me again that you plead guilty, you waive certain rights, such as the right to a trial by jury, and you stipulate or you agree that all of the evidence the state has against you is true and correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, Mr. Trejo, this document appears to have your signature on it. Did you sign this document?
Yes, I did.
And by signing this document, are you telling me that you understand everything in that document?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you telling me that you understand the consequences of pleading guilty here today?
Yes.
Mr. Rushburn, have you consulted with your client and advised him of his rights?
I have, Judge.
Do you believe him to be mentally competent?
Yes, Judge, I do.
And do you approve of him signing these stipulations before the court today?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Does the state concur?
State concurs.
In that case, Mr. Trejo, I will approve these stipulations and I will enter them into the court's record as State's Exhibit Number 1. Ms. Anchondo, is there a plea agreement in this case?
There is, Your Honor. In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state has agreed to recommend to the court that the court defer further proceedings in this case, place the defendant on community supervision, deferred adjudication for a period of 2 years, a $500 fine be assessed, any court costs, reimbursement fees, or restitution as reflected in the judgment or bill of cost.
Mr. Trejo, you've heard the district attorney's office announce a plea agreement. Was that the plea agreement that you reached with them?
Say it again.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Rushburn, do you agree that that was your client's agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I cannot pull that plea up. Ms. Anchondo, can you tell me again what the plea agreement was?
2 deferred,
2 years deferred?
$500 fine. There's $180 in restitution to the lab. And everything else is going to be the bill of cost.
Mr. Trejo, you've heard the district attorney's office announce a plea agreement. Was that the plea agreement that you reached with them?
Yes, ma'am.
You concur, Mr. Rushworm?
I do, Judge.
In that case, Mr. Trejo, I will follow the recommendation of the district attorney's office, and I will defer a finding of guilt at this time. I'm not going to find you guilty today. Instead, I'm going to place you on probation, also known as deferred adjudication, for a period of 2 years. And I'm going to order that you pay a $500 fine, $180 in restitution, and that I'm also going to order you to pay any fines and fees shown in the bill of costs attached to the judgment. During the 2 years that you're on deferred adjudication, it is crucial that you follow all of probation's rules and regulations. If you fail to do that, and they can prove it, the state can prove that you did not, then I have the authority or the discretion to sentence you to anything up to 2 years in state jail. Ms. Koch, what arrangements have you made, if any, to go over the terms and conditions with Mr. Trejo? It's a more
Judge, this is a Moore County case, and Edgar actually was placed on deferred adjudication out of the county court at law this morning as well. He is already going to be going to the Moore County probation office for that, and this should be included along with that, I would think.
Okay, Mr. Trejo, Mr. Rushworm, when is he to meet with probation on his misdemeanors?
I believe he's supposed to go this afternoon or right away.
Okay, then Mr. Trejo, I'm going to say if you do not meet with the probation officer in Moore County by 5 o'clock today, that a warrant will issue for your arrest. This plea agreement will be void. So do you understand how important it is to meet with your probation officer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The judgment in my queue has not been signed by you and there's been no fingerprint. So I'm going to somehow get this to your probation officer, and she will take care of having you sign it and fingerprint it. Do you have any questions? Oh, go ahead, Mr.
I'm getting ready to have him sign that, and HJ will put his fingerprint on it down in the county court at law courtroom, and then I'm going to return it to Jackie, if that's all right.
Okay. Then I am not going to sign the one you have in the queue. I'm just going to sign the stipulations and file those with the court.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Trejo, have you been satisfied with your representation by Mr. Rushworm?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And has he done everything that you asked him to do?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Trejo, you're excused to go meet with your probation officer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thanks for getting us in. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Glad to save time.